Do you agree? Good people, I am live. Today is Wednesday, the 12th of June, 2024. Never to be repeated. Just back with me candle, remembering those gone before us. It's a little tradition of mine when I'm doing my lives. So yeah, back with another independent talk live stream of a Wednesday, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Good evening to you if you're watching live. I hope you're well. And to those who tune in after the fact, hello. And that's really it for today, folks. It's been a very interesting couple of weeks to observe with the local elections and the European elections and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll pop through the videos. If you have any comments, any questions, anybody who's new to the stream, who I've met recently, welcome. And the vibe behind these streams are me every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, just opening the portal, trying to speak openly and honestly, create a bit of content for people to chill out, have a cup of tea, of a Wednesday evening from 7 till about 8, 9, depending. And yeah, it's a bit of information for people to digest if they seek information. So yeah, I've seen some videos throughout the week. I've saved them. I'll play them. There's a few music songs in there as well. And if there's any comments, any topics, any questions, any suggestions, any information that you would like to relay through the live comments, please do so. And we'll discuss anything you would like to discuss. If you would like something discussed, drop it in the comment section. So yeah, again, I hope you're well. I was a few minutes late again this evening with a cup of tea. I tried my very, very best. And I was on time. But then again, you know, the minutes crept by. So here I am, just after 7 o'clock. I hope you're well. And I'll go through the videos. I'll play video one now. I know I've said this a few times now already. And yeah, that's really it. So first video in no particular order. Mad scenes at a young boys football match down in Galway over the past week. Disgraceful, carry on. Yeah, I'll play another video. As I said, I'll keep popping through them in no particular order. There's about 20 here, I think, including a few songs. So I just use this as an opportunity to chill out on a Wednesday, let off a little steam, speak publicly, speak openly. And if anybody has any questions, as I said many times already, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Next video. Oh, before I go on, let me do my customary sending of love out to our brothers and sisters of our nation and all nations. The people I'm talking about, not the governments.
I feel the urgency to destroy Ireland, and indeed the Irish people, everywhere that I go, in this awful kip. When people share their hopes and dreams with me, all I'm thinking about is George Soros and the Queen's shillings he keeps sending me. Of course, he also looks after my Big Pharma tranny brother and the rest of the Sinn Féin traitor set. Ireland really needs change, like new ideas and new leadership. And the job of Sinn Féin has always been to help prevent any of that nonsense from ever happening and to keep the deplorable Irish working classes firmly in their boxa sheshes. Our policies are as simple as they are effective. Never running enough candidates to actually enter government is one. Brits out, everyone else in is, of course, a firm favourite, Croke Park to become a mosque. We want at least 40% of primary school teachers to be drag queens. We will work very hard for a complete cover-up of the part we played in demanding harsher lockdowns and faster experimental vaccines. We all know how that's going, don't we? You can rest assured, my silly little paddies, we'll help keep a lid on all of it. I will, of course, be petitioning Hollywood for an Oscar for when I pretended to have COVID. A vote for Sinn Féin is a vote for millions more unvetted, angry, and in many cases, rapey migrants. In many ways, Ireland is a raging, out-of-control dumpster fire. Vote Sinn Féin if you want it to stay that way.
Don't vote Sinn Féin. Bad eggs. I'll play a song now. Good evening. Elvis, how are you, brother? I'll play a song now. Seamus Begley.
Come all you young rebels and listen while I sing. For the love of one's country is a terrible thing. It banishes fear with the speed of a flame, and it makes us all part of the Patriot game. My name is O'Hanlon, I'm just gone 16. My home is in Monaghan, that's where I was weaned. I've learned all my life cruel England to blame. So now I am part of the Patriot game. 'Tis barely 2 years since I wandered away with the local battalion of the bold IRA. I read of our heroes and wanted the same, to play up my part in the Patriot They told me how Connolly was shot in the chair, his wounds from the battle all bleeding and bare, his fine body twisted, all battered and lame. That soon made me part of the Patriot game. 'Tis Ireland of ours has for long been half free. 6 counties are under John Bull's tyranny. They say De Valera is greatly to blame for shirking his part in the Patriot game. And now as I lie here I wish that my rifle had given the same to those quislings who sold out the Patriot game. So come all you young rebels and list while I sing, for the love of one's country is a terrible thing. It banishes fear with the speed of a flame, and it makes us all part of the Patriot game.
Lovely song, lovely singer. The legend of the Irish music, trad scene, Seamus Begley, been around for a long time. Still performing, still doing his thing. So respect to him. And the stories live on through song. That reminds me of yesterday evening. There was a little commemoration, called the Little Commemoration on Main Street in Monasterevin for Father Edward Prendergast, who was hanged during the 1798 rebellion on the Main Street in Monasterevin. So yeah, called a little commemoration for him yesterday evening, and there was a few people turned up, and it was lovely. It was lovely to meet some of the Prendergast clan turned up, a few members and a few grandchildren and partners, and it was nice to meet the ancestors and remember those who have gone before us for our freedoms and our way of life, our peaceful way of life, our loved way of life, world famous way of life. So yeah, we must continue to make sure that our way of life is satisfactory enough, and where it's going isn't good enough. So it's good to see lots of new councillors and new people entering the arena of, I suppose, the political world. I believe the political world in this country anyway. Our nation needs to get a hold of the political world and correct some of the wrongs and fix some of the corruptions and fix some of the cover-ups and fix some of the injustices. And we have to remember there are people in prison today, friends of mine as well, basically political prisoners, whistleblowers, let's call them. And yeah, I think we should remember them as we move forward, and remember those gone before us, and respect them and lead the way and protect our way of life for future generations. In fact, enhance it, make it better than it already is. Mental health is a big problem out there amongst young people and adolescents, Irish people. The highest ever percentage of young adults on prescription medications, antidepressants. So there's a lot of suffering out there, and we can improve things, and that's what it's about, I believe, improving things. And recognizing it's not all about the me, the personal. It's about leaving a ripple and passing our environment and our land and our nation on better than we got it. And it hasn't been too good for previous generations. We remember, obviously, the Great Hunger. I'm talking now previously the 1916, so we're coming into recent history. The War of Independence, Dublin in the 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s with the tenement slugs infested with rats, and the Christian Brother schools. And there's been a lot of trauma over the last 100 years on the people of this island by the state. And some of us would like to change that. Some people feel there is no point. I disagree. I digress, as they say. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that song. I have a few more songs as well. And that's it. I'll just keep popping along, putting up the videos. I'll do one every Wednesday. And this is my interaction with the outside world. That's really it. It is what it is. I used to do lots more of the online stuff, the more content stuff and the protesting stuff, but I've kind of evolved from that. I would like to be part of a movement. A societal, cultural and political movement. So That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm waiting for. I don't like to see all the votes getting splintered, all these new groups coming in and taking votes from each other. And sure, how can you get seats in local elections when there's various amount of independents in the one area, along with, let's say, newer or nationalist um, parties? We need to try and combine it and try and make a nationwide movement. You can do your own thing in your own time with your own party, your own organisation, but it's going to need a nationwide movement, an organised one. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. It's interesting to watch, though.
Stephen Pepper, you've just been elected to Finglas and Ballymun County Council. How do you feel?
Amazing, Fatma. Like, it's the working class vote. That's what it is. You know, that's what I stand up for. I want to thank all the people in Finglas and Ballymun. All the people across the country who've been on the marches sticking up were against illegal immigration in Ireland. I want to fight things in my community and make it better. I want a boxing club, things that the community's been promised for years, being ignored. People on the housing list not being housed, elderly people. Like it's just ridiculous what's going on there. There's nothing for the kids to do. We need more community services in Finglas and Ballymun. They've been totally neglected. The roads are in bits. There's no summer camps anymore. Like these things need to be changed, and the government have been ignoring them, and the establishment have been ignoring them. And when people like me were speaking up against it, they used words and called us far right or fascist or stupid words that don't sum up a working class family man like me and most of the people that are out on this. Today is amazing, and I feel amazing. I'm delighted with my family, I'm delighted with the country, and it's not just about me, it's about my country, and it's about everybody in the country that is standing up for what's right at the moment. And that's what it's about. It's not a popularity contest. The government and the opposition in this style don't represent. Like that's an example. See, they walk past, they make hissing sounds at people all day. That sums these people up. They don't represent the working class. Don't care about communities. It's only about money for them. The government and the opposition, there is no opposition in the Dáil. They agree on everything. We're the real opposition. We're the real change. We just want people that have been left behind for very long. We've 14,000 Irish homeless people, 4,000 kids in emergency accommodation for years, and it's getting worse and worse and worse, and the government ignore it and bring in more illegal immigrants, and then for we speak out against it, they don't want to hear it. But it doesn't matter about that. I feel amazing right now. I'm happy for my country, I'm happy for all my friends and family and everybody that supported me, and I support them, and I'm delighted for Malachy Stenson today and the other nationalists and independents. Please God to get across in. So it's a great day for all around, and you know, I'm happy.
And obviously you're new to politics, like you obviously have a bit of a profile online, but how do you think you're going to translate that to being kind of in politics now, and the different ways that you're going to have to actually make the changes that you're promising?
Well, look at that. I want to put the work in to try to do it. My community is in disarray a lot. You know, it has good things, but the government have neglected it for years. They neglect the working class communities. So, like I said, I want stuff for the kids in the area. There's nitrous oxide cans. We need to start putting in motions to make nitrous oxide illegal for up to 18 years old. Like, you shouldn't be able to get this as a kid. We need things like that to stop. It's as simple as that.
And I suppose like your own area would be quite traditionally Sinn Féin, I suppose, would it, in terms of like the popular vote in a working class area? But it seems that Sinn Féin has in some ways lost the room with that demographic. Why exactly do you think that is? Do you think it's basically as you said, like the lack of services, I suppose, and also I suppose the working class communities have in some ways borne the brunt of the influx of asylum seekers?
Absolutely, as you can see in the likes of Grand Canal and all, they put up barriers to stop them coming into their areas, and then it's the working class communities that people are waiting on doctor's appointments that suffer, as you said. The Sinn Féin are out of touch with the working class people. They were meant to represent them, but they sold them out. That's the reality of it, you know. And now the people have no support in them anymore. Now they'll still get a few candidates in of their core voters, but at the end of the day, they sold the working class out to get into a middle class vote, right? Because if you asked them deep down, they would go into power with Fianna Fáil in the morning, but yet they're always complaining that Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael wrecked the country. So they're a bit hypocritical, if you ask me. Yeah, when you stick up for a community that has been left behind, you're meant to stay sticking up for it. You're not meant to forget them. You're not meant to turn the back on them. You're meant to stand for them. And I feel that they don't do that anymore, and so does a lot of people in the community. At the end of the day, it's about sticking up for your community and doing the best you can for your community. And even though you might not agree with some people sometimes, yeah, it's important to hear what they have to say and not just ignore them for an establishment reason.
Well, that's refreshing. It's nice to hear a man speaking like that in my old hometown. Gavin got elected into the Ballymun Finglas area, I believe. And I'm happy he has been elected, just like he's happy. I think it's important now that those who supported Gavin and his message to get in behind him now and build a network in his local Kildare LEA and support him and grow and bring good to the community and let people will bear a man by his fruits. So he won't do it on his own. He's going to need his people around him. So I'm a Ballymunner, so I'll help Gavin. I must get in touch with him. I was only thinking that this morning, saying to the missus, I must get in touch with him and give him some assistance in that area because I'm from that. That's my cradle. That's my birthplace. That's my hometown. And I would like to get involved, I think, and help Gavin. So, yeah, fair play to him. I'm delighted. He's probably not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Who is? But I've had a couple of interactions with him and he was respectful. But I don't know the man, But I believe our work and the awareness and the education and the information that we've continued to push out there into the universe has rippled. And it has rippled to the likes of Gavin Pepper and everybody else. They're on the same frequency. We just need to fine tune it and work on it and work on the harmony of the Irish people. Because the community spirit has been shattered over the years. The Irish people have been shattered, yourself. So yeah, I believe it's something we can do. And if you're in Ballymun or in Finglas, give them a shout, give them a hand, and help them out. And that's it. So yeah, it's good. Even just to see a county councillor speaking like that, it's nice. Claire Daly and all those who went before, and the people before Prophet Crew, I think, they kind of gave the impression that they were going to go in and speak like that, but nobody really has. When have you ever seen any man really speak like that about things honestly and openly as best he can without trying to be too offensive and call them straight? And I think it's refreshing, and I think there will be more of it, hopefully. And I hope these people don't get sucked into the crown corporate state, and I hope they settle themselves in and then work on networking with all the other independents who have been elected. Start networking. I'm just one man. This is my advice. And I'll meet you down the road. But it's important that the independents keep going. And it's important that they're supported. And there will be a general election as well soon. So, yeah, it would be nice to get some more organisation into these elections and not have groups of people going into the one hat and splitting the vote. So I think it's important that there's a mature nation first, practicing what you preach, assembly going to need to take place before the next general election. And some of these new parties and independents are going to have to discuss strategic ways. It's all about strategies in that world. So they'll need to pick an area and, have a roundtable discussion, and in each area pick maybe one, maybe two candidates in each area, 1 and 2, no more really. And everybody pushes that man or woman in that area. It's not all about. We need to move past politics where parties are only concerned in promoting their party and getting the party power. It's about people power and returning the power to the people, correcting the faulty government. This is the message. It's only a seed. It may take a few years to get there. It may not even be in my lifetime. But what I'm trying to do is bring myself back to the Irish Republic, the democratically elected Irish Republic government of 1919. And I believe that's where we need to be going. And if enough of us can get to that, we'll be a strong, powerful movement. Yeah. So we'll see. But well done to Gavin, and well done to the other people and the other people who helped him getting elected, and ripples and seeds. It's all about that. It's just all about getting people into ripples and seeds and sending out the information. And that's it. And we just need to awaken enough Irish people to believe what we believe is so bad and so dark and so corrupt and so causing so much suffering. If we can get people to understand, that's all we're here for. We are, you know, godly people, and we come here to try and rid evil from our land. Simple as that. We are the guardians of this land. I don't know whether you believe in that, the modern day representation of your ancestors. I do, but I'm probably a bit of a weirdo. So yeah, keep up the good work, people, and yeah, we must keep trying. Here's another man who I think has huge potential. I was only talking to my missus about this morning. Maybe that's my role in all this, to be the networker as time goes by, and do the old school traveling to people and having conversations with them, and yeah, seeing if it won't be done online, you know. It will need to be done old school, I believe. Plenty of meetings and fine debates with different points of view, but yeah, we'll need to be more. We need to form that arrowhead, as I said before. Let's see. Ellen Franklin, good evening, Ellen. That's a new name, I think. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming along. Yes, absolutely. When the land's invaded like this, it's personal. It's out of control, Ellen. It's very much out of control. It's illegal immigration at the moment. It's out of control, and it needs to be stopped. You know, I've had this discussion with friends of mine, and it's not about foreign nationals. We all know and love people of different nationalities and different colours and different creeds. It's not about that. It's about a government, a state that is not serving its people. In fact, it's breaking laws to do damage to its people, and its people are raising their voices and letting people know, and letting the government know. But as of now, they seem to be on full lockstep. You see, they're getting guided from Europe. You have to remember that, World Economic Forum and all this stuff. But yeah, we see how she goes.
Hello. What is certain is that within the next 10 months there will be a general election. So let's look back over the local elections and the European elections just to find out, have we learned anything from those elections? And the answer is yes. First and foremost, we can claim a victory. The victory is the virtual destruction of the Sinn Féin. Less than a year ago, they were on 36% according to opinion polls. Then they dropped down to 22%. And last week, one particular opinion poll there put them at 17%. But in fact, they averaged out 12.04%, a miserable 12.04% averaged over the European and the local elections. And there was a reason for that. They have been rejected by their constituency. They have been rejected by the people who normally voted for them, because for the most part it was a protest vote, and they felt betrayed. Betrayed because the Sinn Féin had an open borders policy that diluted and destroyed our nation and our people. And people spotted that, and people voted with their vote, with their democratic mandate, and chased Sinn Féin down to 12.04%. The Green Party has also virtually collapsed. They're around 5% if you average out over the two elections. So they too have suffered with their globalist anti-nationalist policy. Strangely, people did vote for the major parties, for the Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, and they average out now at about 23%. But the real winners were the independents, and the independents averaged out at 28%. Not all of them were on our side, but most were, to a greater or lesser extent. Some people that we have worked with have got elected. Some people who we have worked with have almost got elected, but they now have profile and now are ready for the general election. So coming up to the general election, we must ask ourselves, what can we do? And probably the answer to that is better vote management. Some of the transfers transferred in a chaotic and unorganised way. And because of that, people who almost got seats failed to get seats. They were passed out by the more professional politician. It's possible for a pro-nation candidate to get stranded at the top of the election list and to be slowly passed out as the preferences creep up for the other candidates and they are passed out. So we need to be mindful of that coming up to the general election, and we need to ask ourselves, how can we transfer between us? And we need to be quite public about that. Election candidates going forward on a pro-nation ticket need to be able to say, give your number 2, give your number 3 to colleagues, and between all of us, one of us or more of us are going to get elected. We're not islands. We all interact with each other. We're all on the same page, and we should help each other. And in the coming months, we need to sit down and think about how we can develop a better strategy to maximise our transfers, because if our transfers were maximised, we would get double or triple the number of local election candidates in, and maybe 1 or 2 Europeans as well, because we failed to maximise on our transfers. So that's something we need to look at. That's something we need to be clever about. None of us are professional politicians. This time 2 years ago, none of us probably ever thought we'd be involved in politics, but yet we are. We're forced into it to defend our great nation because others are not doing it. Others have betrayed us to the globalist agenda. But we remain solid and firm in our love of nation, and therefore we need to know how we can maximise what we can do. So let's think about it. Let's think about how we can support each other regarding transfers coming up to the general election. And in the meantime, continue with the profile. In the meantime, continue the protesting, continue being visible, continue putting in the hard work. And those that put in the hard work, not all of them, but many of us who put in the hard work benefited from a positive result in this election. Turn up, protest, support the community, be visible, be everywhere. History is on our side, the people are on our side, the nation is on our side, and we shall succeed in the general election. Thank you.
Yeah, he's a good one, Vincent, I believe. I believe he's one of the good ones. He speaks very well. And he speaks a lot of common sense there. As I said, I don't play these videos in any particular order. But it just happened to be that I was speaking about that issue just before I played Vincent Carroll. Again, another man I don't really know, but I do watch and admire things he says and the things he does. So respect to him, and the people that support him, keep supporting him, keep getting his message out there, and he speaks a lot of sense to me. I'll play another song now, and I'll run out and make another cup of tea, so enjoy the song.
Take me away from the city and lead me to where I can be on my own. I wanted to see you, and now that I have, I just want to be left alone. I'll always remember your kind words, and I'll still remember your name. But I've seen you changing and turning, and I know that things just won't be the same. I remember that summer in Dublin, and the Liffey's, it stank like hell, and the young people walking on Grafton Street, and everyone looking so well. I was singing a song I'd heard somewhere called Rock and Roll Never Forgets, when my humming was smothered by a 46A and the scream of a low-flying jet. So I jumped on a bus to Dunleary, stopping up to pick up my guitar. And a drunk on the bus told me how to get rich, I was glad we weren't going too far. So I'm leaving on Wednesday morning and trying to find a place where I can hear the wind and the birds and the sea on the rocks, and where open roads always are near. And if sometime I tire of the quiet and I wanna walk back up that hill, I'll just get on the road and I'll stick out my thumb, 'cause I know for sure you'll be there still.
The nation holds its breath. Yes!
And the young people walking on Grafton Street, everyone looking so well. I was singing a song I heard somewhere called Rock and Roll Never Forgets, when my humming was smothered by 46A and the scream of the low-flying jet. So I jumped on a bus to Dunleary, stopping up to pick up my guitar, and a drunk on the bus told me how to get rich. I was glad we weren't going too far. I remember that summer in Dublin. I can still see that sunshine in Dublin.
Yeah, he is a very good speaker, Vincent Carroll. I have seen him speak a few times. Very good speaker. Someone we should encourage to speak more often, and someone who talks a lot of sense, I believe. I was just watching that video there. I went out and made a cup of tea and came back for it, and I just was thinking, it's kind of, that video is kind of, how would you say it? It's kind of, I believe, kind of the last time, around the time where phones came into existence. I remember going to see Oasis in 1996, I believe, in the Point Depot. And it was before phones. Phones weren't really a thing. And I remember watching a documentary about Oasis, and Noel Gallagher saying the same, that he thinks they were probably the last mega band before the phones came into concerts, you know. So people, when they were at the concerts, they were actually there, present in the moment. And it's not the case with people with the phones and the devices and the TikTok videos and all that stuff. They're not in the moment. They're just recording the moment. So yeah, with the phones brought the age of information into the hands of the population, let's say. So we've got so much information at the tip of our fingertips. And I believe it was around then, around the mid-90s, where the information came to a boil, and it was clear and evident that the state was out of control and corrupt, going way back when, before the phones gave us this information. You know, people didn't have this information back then. Just like criminals back in the day had it a little bit easier because they hadn't got the technology chasing them, helicopters and all that stuff, you know, phones and before technology. So there's an advancement in technology, and I believe it's had a deep effect on the fabric of society, the phone. But it's also brought us the information that we need to know. And I believe it was around then, the mid-90s, where it came into the psyche, the mass psyche. Well, it came into my psyche. That there was a dark cloud governing our island. Dark entities all over the world, let's be honest. All over the world. Dark governments doing dark things to their own people. Lots of nations have crumbled under darkness. And theirs has a few times. And I believe we're a special race, and there's a reason why people come to live here. I was only having this conversation with a friend of mine the other night. There's a reason people come to live here. It's the peace. It's the how are you? It's the, you know, goodbye, hello. The peace, the ability to get up in the morning and be pretty much left alone and get on about your day. Once you're peaceful, and that's not always the case in other nations. So that's a cherished part of our way of life. We must do all in our power to keep it that way. You know, I think that's it. It's that simple, isn't it?
The leader of Sinn Féin, the person who would like to have my job, asked the Irish people to go out today, or yesterday rather, and vote to start the change. And she got a verdict. It was pretty darn resounding. I mean, just for your listeners, in case people are missing it, because I heard a little bit of interesting revisionism in this studio before I came in. The Sinn Féin party is polling around 11% now. Around 11%.
Up to 12
okay,
on what
12.
I'm looking
give
at
them
here.
13, give them 14. I don't care. They're polling about 11, 12, 14%. Not exactly a government in waiting. The leader of the opposition came out today and said, we need time to develop policies.
And you're going to give
solutions.
them the time because you're not going to go to
I'm
general election until March.
I'm not going to give them an inch. But what I'm going to give the people of Ireland is delivery on the issues that matter. Because in this political media bubble that we all work in from time to time, we obsess and ask the same questions and answers amongst ourselves. When will the election be? When will the election be? That's not what the mum who wants a speech and language therapist for her child is asking. That's not what the adult child trying to move out of the box bedroom in their parents' house wants. They want politicians doing their job, grown-up politicians.
I suppose you've got a hard stop then in March, haven't you? So you leave yourself at the mercy of events. Whereas now, when the going is good, it makes total logical sense for you to say, let's do it in October or November.
I'm smiling only because I'd say if you were thinking about this interview that you might have had with a Fine Gael leader 6 months ago, you were probably thinking that the question you'd be saying is, God, have you not lost all democratic mandate? You've had a disastrous day. You better go and have an election. The line now is, well, actually, you've done reasonably well today. You should have a general election. We'll have a general election in due course.
He's definitely better than Varadkar at the answering the questions on the spot in terms of his media presence. Very much so, much better than Varadkar at that. So handpicked for this moment in history, that man is, you know, he may not see it. Forgive them for they know not what they do. But he's the head of a very dark regime, and that's really ultimately it, isn't it? Dark or light, good or evil. There is no in between. Our neutrality is very important. Yeah, I believe it's one of the most important things because we're a special nation. We don't do war. We don't do suppression of other people. That's not what we're about. We're a neutral, peaceful people in this mad world. And that's the way we are. And that's the way the Irish Republic is declared to be. And it's ultimately, that's the darkness I speak about on a spiritual level. You know, we don't do conquests. We don't do invasions. We don't do debt machines and, you know, fund these things. But we do now. We do now with the PESCO deal. We're into the budget for the European Army now. So that is the Republic of Ireland, the corporate crown government, Gov Ireland. So yeah, that's ultimately, I believe, what it's about: good versus evil, and you know, to get involved in wars that are not self-defense is a very evil act by a nation. It's probably the most evil of all. To declare war on somebody else just for gains, just for, you know, conquests, and to build the empire as the Romans and the British have done for centuries. That's not what we're about. We are different, and that's why we have a special way of life, and that's why we are loved the world over. And we need to be very careful and not allow this to develop any further. We need to stop it as soon as possible. And I believe it goes all the way to a corrupt EU, and I believe everybody knows that, but people don't think that there is anything that can be done. I believe on a national level there is, and hopefully it will grow, whatever that is. But it must be a loving, stern, loyal, empathetic movement, you know, with pride and righteousness all wrapped up in a bow, because that's the Irish way. Yeah, and Sinn Féin, I mean, this was saying to me earlier on as well, Sinn Féin are getting a lot of stick. Lots of people are after, and rightly so, but we must remember the head of the snake, you know, they are in the mix, but we mustn't be too lenient. The whole lot has to go, the whole lot. That government needs to be collapsed by the will of the people. The people's message, or the people's delivery of that message, needs to be polished up a little bit. Play another video here, see what happens. Let's see.
Claire, would you have a word with us? How are you
You've
feeling?
no interest in talking to me for 5 years, so I've no interest in talking to you.
Claire Daly, as I was saying earlier on about Gavin Pepper speaking, just Gavin in that clip alone has done more for the working class people than she has done. They were just pushed out to Europe, and Ming, and who's the other one? Mick Wallace pushed out. The Radicals were just pushed out to Europe. And they went pretty quietly over there, and yeah, that's the way it is. That's the truth.
There, guys, yeah? Oh, they're down there somewhere. We'll just document this, because it's all about documentation, folks. The Gardaí, to show the people that the Gardaí, Inspector Philip Dwyer is my name. The locals here have told me that these security guards don't have any ID badges, and that's a criminal offence.
With all due respect, I've been here all day. I'm not going to talk to you now, okay?
Okay, well, it's fine, because we're documenting this, that you're not doing your job for future reference, for archive purposes, yeah? That's the superintendent there as well. Superintendent, can I ask you the same question?
No.
I can't. So, there's going to be thousands of people looking at this.
Just the rest of the man speaking his right to speak. Yeah. Speaking on the roll.
Thanks, Leroy. Thanks a million. Superintendent, can I get your name?
Alan Cullen.
Alan Cullen. So you've nothing to say about these security people not wearing their PSA badges?
If you want any explanation of what's going on here, you go through the Garda Press.
For the superintendent, you're here on the scene now.
I'm telling you, I've answered your question.
You haven't answered my question, with all due respect, Superintendent. A lot of people are going to be watching this. This is going to be archived for future reference when you guys have been asked to do your legal jobs and what you're legally supposed to do under the Constitution, that you're refusing to do it. Now, don't say you've been given fair warning, guys, okay? That's it. We're trying to be reasonable, rational people with you. These men over here are breaking the law in front of your eyes. Yeah? An inspector and a superintendent, guys, from Clonmel. You see these security guards, guys, over here? This is highly illegal. It's going on in front of the eyes of the Gardaí, a superintendent and an inspector. This country has lost law and order, guys. You're there to do a job, Superintendent, and you're not upholding your oath.
Philip, none of them over there are showing their PSA license.
No.
The authority in Thurles have been contacted.
The PSA?
ESA licenses, yeah. The inspector coming down tomorrow.
There, guys, yeah?
Oh, they're down there somewhere.
But just document it.
Blaylock. I'm a board-certified neurosurgeon. I retired from active practice. Now I do primarily theoretical research in neurosciences. There's no modern evidence whatsoever that fluoridating water reduces cavities at all. So you have to ask the question, why are you still fluoridating water? Now, not only does that produce lethargy, apathy, weakness, tiredness in adults, but if you do it in pregnant women, the babies are born with low IQs and they never recover. We're developing a society because of all of these different toxins known to affect brain function. We're seeing a society that not only has a lot more people of lower IQ, but a lot fewer people of higher IQ. In other words, a dumbing down, a chemical dumbing down of society. So everyone's sort of mediocre. That leaves them dependent on government because they can't excel.
A farmer has 15 sheep and all but 8 died. How many are left?
A farmer has 15 sheep and all but 8
died. Yeah. How many are left?
Oh. They all died, that's what you mean.
Name the month that we get the least sleep.
I want to say December.
July.
July?
January.
February.
She got it right.
Wow.
So tall.
Okay.
All but 8 died.
Okay, all but 8 died.
Yeah.
Oh, but 8 died.
We've got some rather profound problems with fluoridation that are now well documented from laboratories all over the world without any question. For instance, one of them Dr. Varner did out of Europe, in which he looked at 0.5 parts per million, which is half of what's put in water, and found significant death of neurons in the brain and damage to the blood vessels that supply blood to the brain.
Spell psychiatrist. You trying to find Google? TV. No.
PSCHYCIAST.
PSYCHIATRIST.
And hey now, somebody know how to spell.
PSYCHOLOGIST.
PHYSCHIARTIST.
Psychiatrist?
If 8 died, it would have 7 left. But all but 8 died.
Right.
That means they all died, man.
Yet we have a government that is still pushing as hard as they can, using taxpayer money, to get all the water supply in the United States fluoridated. Fluoride reduces reproduction. It influences sperm mobility. When all these things are known and in the scientific literature and peer-reviewed journals, why is the public being kept in the dark? There's only 2 choices you have in this debate. Either they're incredibly stupid and incompetent or criminal, or they're doing it on purpose for a reason, which goes back to the Rockefeller design of human engineering. Oh yes, we may harm a lot of people. We may kill some babies. We may create some new diseases. We may wipe out whole populations at a time. But that's the price we have to pay to create the new vision, the new society.
A truck driver is going down a one-way street the wrong way and passes at least 10 cops. Why is he not caught?
He a construction worker.
These are one of these questions that make me look dumb. Because he's going the other way. He's walking.
Correct.
Because he's a cop.
Because all the cops are facing that way.
He's walking.
The 8 sheep were left.
8 sheep was
8
left.
were left. all but 8 died.
Oh, all but 8 died. That's true. Wow. Okay, that's true.
All right,
We have these people of lower IQ who are totally dependent. Then we have this mass of people who are going to believe anything they're told because they can't really think clearly. And very few people of very high IQ who have good cognitive function who can figure this all out. And that's what they want. So, you can kind of piece it together as to why they are so insistent in spending so many hundreds of millions of dollars of propaganda money to dumb down society.
Now, that's an interesting one. As I said, I'll just play some videos that I find interesting. And you don't need to hear me speaking about fluoridation. I'm sure you're probably aware of it. And you're probably one of those people who doesn't want to be aware of it. That's fair enough. But yeah, I just play because they're interesting. And I don't make all these clips, all these videos, all these words are not mine. The ones that you see me speaking are, but the video clips, they're just clips that I've seen that resonate with me. And I send them out to the universe. And that's what I do on a Wednesday. And that's it. They're not my thoughts, they're not my words. They just resonate. So 5G is another topic. Injections is another topic. Freemasonry is another topic. There's so many topics. But yeah, it was interesting, I thought. I think of a couple more videos. And then I'll wrap it down. Let me see how many more videos I have. I'll play this one. It's one that you can make a cup of tea to, or else just close your eyes and just remember those gone before you. And that's it. Just be present for a few minutes and listen. Listen to the words, please, please, please. Listen to the words. They're very important right now. This moment in history. Absorb them.
Irish men and Irish women.
In the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood,
Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom.
Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood,
and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army,
having patiently perfected her discipline,
having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself,
she now seizes that moment.
And supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe.
But relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory.
We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies.
To be sovereign and indefeasible.
The long usurpation of that right by foreign people and government has not extinguished the right.
Nor can it ever be extinguished.
Except by the destruction of the Irish people.
In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right
to national freedom and sovereignty.
6 times during the past 300 years.
They have asserted it in arms.
Standing on that fundamental right and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world.
We hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state.
And we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom,
of its welfare
and of its exaltation among the nations.
The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims
the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman.
The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty,
equal rights and equal opportunities for all its citizens,
and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation
and of all its parts,
cherishing all the children of the nation equally,
and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government
which have divided a minority from the majority
in the past.
Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government,
representative of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women,
the provisional government hereby constituted
will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people.
We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessings we invoke upon our arms,
and we pray that no one who serves that cause
will dishonour it by cowardice,
inhumanity,
or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must,
by its valour and discipline,
and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good,
prove itself worthy of the august destiny
to which it is called.
Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government,
Thomas J. Clark,
Sean McDermott,
Thomas MacDonagh,
P.H. Pearce,
Eamon Kent,
James Connolly,
Joseph Plunkett.
I think that's where we have to go back to, the proclamation. We have to assert the proclamation, founding document of our nation. We have to stand over it in this modern world, this globalist world. I mean, to save the Irish Republic, because they are stealing her from us. They're in the process. They are actively at the moment doing it. So that's what we need to say. The first doll, we're on 33rd doll at the moment, which is an interesting number, where the robbery is happening on our watch. So just trying to get that clarity out through my content that we're trying to save the Irish Republic, and long live the Irish Republic. Next video. Nearly finished now, just a couple.
Another way that we could grant citizenship without having to host these ceremonies. And I'm really pleased to say that from today, we are putting in place a new temporary system. So people won't have to attend these ceremonies. What they will have to do is to complete and sign a declaration of loyalty to the state in front of a relevant official. So we're going to email applicants concerned the new declaration, outline who the relevant officials are, and once they have completed the declaration, sent everything back to us, I can then sign the naturalisation certificate and most importantly get it back out to our new Irish citizens.
1 second, another couple of videos.
I will faithfully discharge the duties of a member of An Garda Síochána with fairness, integrity, regard for human rights, with diligence and impartiality, upholding the Constitution and the laws, and according equal respect to all people. While I continue to be a member of An Garda Síochána, I will, to the best of my skill and knowledge, discharge all my duties according to law, and I do not belong to, and will not, while I remain a member of An Garda Síochána.
Last one before the anthem. Any comments, any topics, anything you'd like to discuss in any of the videos? If there's something you'd like to discuss in any particular video, you're always welcome to raise a point to be discussed. Check this man out. This is a good wordsmith at work.
Oh, they lie and they lie, but we still comply. Do you ever stop to wonder why? How it could have come to this zombie-like apocalypse? This great reset has clearly shown that the people's minds are not their own. Like drones, they're zoned into their phones and think whatever they've been told to. You know the saddest part in all of this? Is that they all seem so oblivious. And their egos won't allow them to accept that they've been wrong. And they'll only know what they've assisted in when all that's good is gone. But there are those among us that can see these crimes against humanity, and as custodians, our only obligation is to free our future generations. And that is what we are going to do, even if we are but few. We shall place our faith in the holiest karma, the brutal truth. It's our only armour. And we can never trade our freedoms for a temporary safety, for then we are bound to lose them both, and don't deserve them anyway. But us Irish have been here before. Not once, not twice, not thrice, but more. And the whispers of our forefathers now embolden us with might. And while some think that it's extinct, some Irish hearts still have that fight. And to some is all we've ever needed, as our history has shown, so all ye demons should pay heed, for we're not leaving ye alone. The tales of Mitchell, Tone and Emmett and the men and women of the GPO fuel a fire that's now replenished, and there's only one way this does go. So we shall see ye on the battlefield, ye demons in the skies. We are the warriors for freedom, of which there is no compromise.
Powerful, powerful, beautiful, beautiful piece by that man. I don't know, I just seen it and I thought that resonates. So that's me for this week. I'll leave you be. I hope you have a good week. I hope you enjoyed this evening's stream. Yeah, I'll be back next Wednesday at 7. That's really it, folks. I will see you when I see you. Long live the Irish Republic. And hopefully, yeah, we progress as a people, because we need to. Cormahagut, bless to you as well. Ellen, beats talking to myself. I am aware that my viewership is low, starting all over again, and it is long format, bit of music, not everyone's cup of tea, but it's my offering to the information universe. That's the best I can do. So for now, I wish you love, be good, look after each other, and listen to the anthem. Take a couple of minutes. I finish off with this every week. And the idea is it's 2 minutes and 34 seconds long. And just take a moment, listen to it, close your eyes, do a bit of breathing wherever it is, make a cup of tea wherever it is, and just think of those gone before us and those to come after us as well. So long live the Irish Republic. I hope you did that. I hope you took a couple of minutes out and just had a listen. Right, good night, God bless. Or as mate Alan says, Ihawa. And I will see you when I see you. Much love, much love.